Hello and welcome to the latest Doctor Who video review from Digital Spy. This week the Doctor fought the Eaters of Light, but did this episode suck my enthusiasm or light up my life?
Where is my friend and what destroyed the Roman army?
Okay, here we go. Spoiler alert, I really enjoyed this episode. In fact, I could crow about it all day. But seriously, Rona Munro has delivered a razor-sharp script with the Eaters of Light. Older viewers may remember that Rona wrote Doctor Who's final classic series story, Doctor Who and the Survival, or fine, just Survival. But as an award-winning playwright, it's her extensive work in the theatre that shines through here. The Eaters of Light has a strong sense of location and a really strong grasp on character. The setting of 2nd century Aberdeen is wonderfully realised by the production team with plenty of shots of a misty, moody Scotland. Munro also ploughs the past for both humour and pathos. There's some historical tidbits to chew over, like the shockingly low age of Roman soldiers leading the charge on the battlefront, but also some decent laughs. I loved the Doctor using popcorn to scare the Scottish. It put me in mind of something that William Hartnell's impish first Doctor might have done, sort of a modern day equivalent of skulls on flaming sticks to frighten cavemen. When it comes to character, Munro nails the regulars, but doesn't forget to inject personality and charm into the supporting cast. I particularly took to the character of Lucius. It is a little strange at first to see the Doctor revert to being so harsh. She's not a warrior, she's an embryo. Because the show of late has embraced a more gentle, touchy-feely version of the character. But he reverts to cuddly form for the climax, revealing both hearts as he convinces two opposing sides to fight together to stop the monsters. Bill is also back to her best. I was getting a little bit frustrated about how the character, after such a strong start, was being sidelined, but the character as she appears in The Eaters of Light is absolutely the Bill that we originally fell in love with. Here, she's compassionate, funny and warm, and I loved the sequence in which Bill thought she was dropping a sexuality bombshell on the Romans, only to find that they're a lot more modern than she was expecting. In many ways, The Eaters of Light is the complete flip of last week's Empress of Mars. That had great monsters and weak supporting characters, whereas here, the eponymous Eaters are perhaps the episode's biggest weak point. They're not a disaster, it's just that their motivations and their abilities are a little bit fuzzy, and for the first time this series, their realization, a pure CGI creation, isn't quite up to scratch. Still, this episode isn't really about the monsters, it's about the people. You'll be so moved and amused and swept up in the story that you won't care too much about a slightly underwhelming villain. Nearly done, but I can't sign off without talking about that Missy epilogue. Alright, so it felt a little bit tagged on, but how amazing were Peter Capaldi and Michelle Gomez in that final scene? I started off, as I'm sure lots of people did, thinking that Missy turning good was just a ruse, but now I'm seriously starting to question her loyalties. This is the most interesting thing that Doctor Who has done with the character of the Master, maybe ever, bringing depth to a character that can sometimes be written as just a pantomime villain. It's a strong coda to a wonderful episode. The Eaters of Light is funny, moody, and moving. This week, Doctor Who ticks all the boxes, and I hope we don't have to wait another 30 years for another episode by Rona Munro. Just my thoughts as ever, but did you disagree? Did the Eaters of Light just eat into your busy schedule? Let us know what you thought of the episode in the comments below, and don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for all your Doctor Who needs. See you next week.